and the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Appreciate being a part of this today. And again, to our panelists, thank you very much. Appreciate all you've had to say. And Simran, I'm glad you're holding that sword for all of us. As we listen to the conversations today, I think one of the things that we have to really acknowledge is this fundamental truth that we are all one in humanity. And when we can take that as the premise in all the work that we're doing, what we see USURF doing, which is very powerful, the work that Greg Mitchell is leading with the Earth Secretariat and the Earth Roundtables, it really speaks to this inclusiveness to bring people together. And when we recognize this fundamental truth and we build upon it, then the many challenges and the conflicts between people of diverse faiths or no faith at all can really dissolve into a people who are bound together by common universal principles. I've often wondered why we as individuals and even as communities that we so easily acquiesce control over our very basic human rights and freedoms to man-made governments and institutions who in turn dictate and enforce ideologies that we often find are contrary to what we may believe or hold to individually. This freedom of thought that we each have is endowed by a transcendent, principled creator. Yet, in my questioning this, I've come to the revelation that really the greatest obstacle, really the most troubling problems and challenges for people of faith and conscience or no faith at all are not the governments or human institutions. Rather, it's each of us. We, a people who hold to our own very own individual or shared values of belief and faith. That's where the challenge is, you see, because we seek to push one belief as superior to another. We spend millions to gather people together with a purpose to conform them to a particular religion or belief through the process of denouncing the belief or faith of another. We challenge and we rebuke the theologies that are not in alignment with our own and with our very own organized power and influence. We use these very same governments and institutions to oppress another minority religion and justify these very actions, or we simply turn a blind eye to it. As a result, human history is paved with a trail of tears for the lives of the many who have been oppressed, persecuted, and even killed because of their faith or belief. And sadly, the future before us has yet to accept this new blueprint that a diverse people of multiple faiths, beliefs, or conscience can engage in the public square and build a moral society upon the common transcendent principles that are foundational to each of our communities of faith, belief, and conscience. This convening, this summit that you hold it today really highlights where we are as a people. As each of our panelists have spoken and shared from their experiences and their expertise, I believe we all can agree that we stand at a crossroads today. Just yesterday, I saw how USURF put out a press release regarding this current administration in the United States removing Nigeria as a country of concern. And when we see all that is happening there, a country that is 50% Christian almost, and almost 50% Muslim, yet there is a genocide taking place there that we cannot turn a blind eye to. Whether it does not matter what faith you are or no faith at all. What matters is the issue that humanity, individuals are being killed because of their belief or their lack to be controlled by another faith, religious, or group. And as long as we see that there's a choice before us, I know that there is hope. The Earth Secretariat, the Earth Roundtables really brings that together because we are able to really bring people of all diverse backgrounds together and faiths and no faiths to sit at a common table that is a safe place for everyone to come together, address their issues and their problems, and then seek ways to take care of those issues. I think one of the other challenging things that we have right now across the world is that when we speak about religious freedom, that definition is always um, always trying to move us into a place that we're not really comfortable with. When I think about uh, the different communities that come together, when we sit together at that common table, we know that we're protected and we can speak to the issues of protecting the life of one another. And when we look at the different countries that we deal with around the world, every country, the definition of religious freedom is not always defined the same way. And that's where we have our conflicts. We have countries right now that say that within their own constitutions that they do respect religious freedom. However, you must register with that country. And if they don't recognize you as a religious entity, then you are not accepted. And therefore, you are persecuted, oppressed, thrown in jail. We look at the Uyghur situation in China, where they're being forced into re education camps. We see all of these things going on. And so there is a vital importance for people to understand and come together under these common principles that the sanctity of life is important, that all of us have a right to serve or not serve any God we wish. And when we can come to those common principles and come together on that, then we understand that we must protect one another. Simran said it so eloquently that when we look at our own religious communities and we tout the issues and the problems we're having, people get tired of it. But when I can stand with my brothers and sisters of every different faith and say, hey, there's a problem here, we want to support you and work with you so that you're not oppressed, so that you're not persecuted. And that's what these roundtables really do. It really shows a universal convening, a collective voice that can speak to issues and really speak to them clearly. And the great thing about our roundtables is that they're what we call an opt-in, which means that if somebody presents an issue and is looking for people to help support it, you can either support it or not support it. And that way it allows you to stand where you feel you need to stand, but at the same time, support where you want to support. And I think that's the thing that's so important,
Correct.
that as we look at these issues, that's how we move forward. So again,
Right.
thank you very much for this opportunity. I give it back to you.